The spotlight has always been on the Jackson family, but there's one name that's often overshadowed: Rebbie Jackson, the eldest sibling. For years, Rebbie has remained silent, watching as her younger brothers and sisters captivated the world with their incredible talent and fame. But now, Rebbie is ready to break her silence. What secrets has she been hiding all these years? What really happened behind the closed doors of the Jackson family home? As we delve into Rebbie's story, prepare to be shocked, saddened, and ultimately inspired by the resilience of this unsung hero. Rebbie Jackson was born on May 29, 1950, in Gary, Indiana, the first child of Joseph and Catherine Jackson. Growing up in a household with 9 siblings, Rebbie was thrust into a caretaker role from a young age. "I was like a second mother to my brothers and sisters," Rebbie would later reflect. "I helped raise them, cooked for them, and made sure they were taken care of." But Rebbie's childhood was far from idyllic. As documented in her sister LaToya's memoir, Starting Over, the Jackson family home was plagued by physical and emotional abuse at the hands of their father, Joseph. "The beatings were frequent and severe," LaToya writes. "Rebbie often took the brunt of it, shielding the younger children from our father's wrath." How did Rebbie cope with the trauma of her childhood? What gave her the strength to endure the pain and emerge as a caretaker for her siblings? According to family friend and longtime confidant Pamela Lipscomb, Rebbie was always the rock of the family. She had this incredible sense of resilience and compassion that kept the family together during the darkest times. As the Jackson siblings began to showcase their extraordinary musical talents, Rebbie found herself drawn to the stage as well. "Music was in our blood," she would later say. "From a young age, we were all singing and performing together." Rebbie's vocal abilities did not go unnoticed, and she soon joined her siblings in the family's musical act, the Jackson 5. However, unlike her younger brothers, Rebbie's path to stardom was not as straightforward. Rebbie was always in the shadow of her siblings, says music critic Jada Thompson. She had the talent, but she never quite captured the same level of attention and adoration. Despite the challenges, Rebbie pursued her musical dreams, releasing her debut solo album, Centipede, in 1984. The album was a modest success, and Rebbie continued to tour and perform, even as her siblings became global superstars. Rebbie never resented her siblings' success, recalls family friend Pamela Lipscomb. She was genuinely happy for them, but she also longed for her own time in the spotlight. As Rebbie's solo career struggled to gain traction, she faced another setback: the release of her sister LaToya's explosive memoir, Starting Over. In the book, LaToya made allegations of abuse within the Jackson family, including claims that their father, Joseph, had physically and emotionally abused the children. How did Rebbie respond to these allegations, and how did it impact her own career and public perception? Rebbie's life took an even darker turn in the late 1980s and 1990s, as she faced a series of devastating personal losses. In 1988, her husband, Nathaniel Brown, passed away suddenly, leaving Rebbie to raise their 3 children alone. "It was the most difficult time of her life," says Pamela Lipscomb. Rebbie was heartbroken, but she knew she had to be strong for her kids. Just a few years later, Rebbie's world was shattered again with the news of her brother Michael's untimely death in 2009. Rebbie was devastated, recalls family friend Tiffany Hines. Michael was her baby brother, and they had always been close. She blamed herself for not being there for him more in his final years. The allegations of abuse within the Jackson family resurfaced in the wake of Michael's death, with renewed scrutiny on the family's troubled past. Rebbie, who had remained silent on the matter, was now facing intense public pressure to address the claims. She was in an impossible position, says Tiffany Hines. Rebbie loved her father, but she also knew the truth of what happened in that house. As Rebbie grappled with the loss of her husband and brother and the painful legacy of her family's past, she retreated further from the public eye. What was going on behind the scenes, and how did she manage to find the strength to carry on? For years, Rebbie Jackson remained silent, content to let her siblings take the spotlight. But now, in the wake of her brother Michael's passing and the resurgence of allegations against her father, Rebbie is ready to break her silence. In a candid and emotional interview, Rebbie opens up about her childhood, her musical aspirations, and the personal tragedies that have shaped her life. I've always been the quiet one, the one who just went along with things, Rebbie says. But I can't stay silent anymore. It's time for the truth to be told. Rebbie acknowledges the allegations of abuse within the Jackson family, but she also defends her father, Joseph. My father was a strict disciplinarian, there's no denying that. But he was also a loving, dedicated parent who wanted the best for his children. The beatings weren't just about us. They were about preparing us for the harsh realities of the world we were about to enter. Rebbie's words are both poignant and powerful, as she grapples with the complexities of her family's history. I've had to come to terms with a lot of pain and trauma in my life, she says. But I've also learned the importance of forgiveness and of holding on to the people and things that truly matter. As Rebbie reflects on her own musical journey, she expresses both pride and regret. I always wanted to be a successful singer in my own right, but I was never able to break out of my siblings' shadow. I think a part of me will always wonder what could have been. In the wake of Rebbie's candid interview, her sister LaToya Jackson steps forward with her own perspective on the Jackson family's troubled past. In a rare and emotional interview, LaToya sheds new light on the abuse that she and her siblings endured and the impact it had on their lives. What Rebbie said about our father is true, LaToya admits. He was a strict and demanding man, and he didn't hesitate to use physical punishment to discipline us. But it went beyond that. The emotional abuse, the constant belittling, the way he would pit us against each other. It was a living hell. LaToya's memoir, Starting Over, detailed the harrowing abuse she and her siblings experienced, including claims that their father had sexually abused her. I know Rebbie hasn't spoken out about this, and I respect that, LaToya says. But the truth is, we all went through hell, and it's taken a toll on all of us in different ways. As LaToya reflects on her own journey to healing and self-acceptance, she expresses both empathy and admiration for her sister Rebbie. Rebbie has always been the strong one, the one who held the family together. She didn't have the luxury of falling apart like I did. She had to be the caretaker, the protector. LaToya's words shed new light on the complex dynamics within the Jackson family and the profound impact that their traumatic upbringing had on each of them. We're all survivors in our own way, LaToya says. But Rebbie, she's a true hero. And I hope that by sharing her story, she can finally find the peace and healing that she deserves. As Rebbie Jackson's story unfolds, it becomes clear that her life has been a testament to resilience, compassion, and the enduring power of family. Despite the challenges she has faced, the abuse, the loss, the struggle for her own musical success, Rebbie has remained steadfast in her commitment to her loved ones. Rebbie is the glue that holds the Jackson family together, says family friend Pamela Lipscomb. Even when everything was falling apart around her, she was there, taking care of her siblings, supporting them, and making sure the family legacy lived on. Indeed, Rebbie's legacy can be seen in the lives of her own children, who have followed in her footsteps. Her daughter, Yashi Brown, is a successful singer and songwriter, while her son, Austin Brown, has carved out his own path in the entertainment industry. Rebbie instilled in us the values of family, hard work, and perseverance, says Yashi. She taught us that no matter how difficult life gets, you never give up. You keep pushing forward, you keep supporting each other, and you never lose sight of what truly matters. As Rebbie Jackson reflects on her life and the lessons she has learned, she knows that her story is far from over. I've been through so much, but I'm still standing, she says.
And I hope that by sharing my story, I can inspire others to find the strength to overcome their own challenges and to never give up on their dreams. In the end, Rebbie Jackson's story is not just about one woman's journey. It's a testament to the enduring power of family, the resilience of the human spirit, and the profound impact that one individual can have, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds.